Brothers my guys, know that they fly, know that they ride or die. I keep boys by my side, CJ Ike, now I gotta roll with ice. Cold, these brothers my guys, know that they fly, know that they ride or die. boys by my side. CJ Ike, now I gotta roll with ice. Ride or die, 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 ride or die. Cody's brothers, my guys, know that they fly, know that they ride or die. I keep boys by my side. CJ Ike, now I gotta ride or die.
I'm a creature of your fantasies, made of things that you're told not to believe. And I'll show you sights you couldn't dream of. Baby, take my hand.
Sometimes I have to keep on breathing in. My lungs are filled with too much pain. All the shadows of the past that I'm so leaving, they held me in my sleepless nights. And I'm drowning in the noise like a free fall, walking along my path for too long. Save myself from the
Hello and welcome everyone to another AFR broadcast. This time we're here for round 7 of the Tier 1 and 2 championships here in Canada. As usual, I am Kunai Zero and with me is Red Panda.
G'day lads.
And hopefully we'll be able to bring you an exciting race today. But before we get started, we've still got to wait for some of the drivers to ready up. Let's talk about the absolute mess that was last week. So,
Yeah.
For those of you who haven't caught up or aren't aware, so we had Monaco. Monaco's always fun. And I would say that would have been the most penalties in any race we've ever had ever.
Yeah, it'd be pretty close to it.
Yeah, so obviously some issues. We had timing bugs, multiple safety cars, people getting all over the place, which may or may not lead to some rule changes for that event. We'll see how that all pans out, but hopefully we'll be able to put that behind us. Canada, a more sensible track, shall we say. So hopefully we can...
Well, you don't have a wall staring at you in the face half the time. Well, all the time.
That's true, but you do have the Wall of Champions.
Yeah,
so
they gotta watch out for that.
There is still a risk. Alright, usually I would have an updated leaderboard graphic, but unfortunately I had issues with my computer and did not get to do it in time. So I will update you guys manually. So as of last week, Revo is still in the lead with 121 points. In the championship, Seb close behind with 113. Mikau in third with 66. Potsy in fourth with 60. Wahid with 42. Fifth, T-Max 6th. Band 7th. Impulse 8th. Flyboy 9th. And Matzoid 10th with 22 points at the bottom. If we have a look here at the Constructors' Championship, Renault are doing very, very strongly. 158 points there in first. Red Bull with 135 in second. And Haas and McLaren third, fourth. Williams fifth. Alfa Romeo 6th. Mercedes 7th. Racing Point 8th. Ferrari and Toro Rosso coming down the bottom with 9 points and 2 points respectively. Okay, so I think our drivers should be readying up. Yes, that does seem to be the case. So we should be able to get this underway pretty soon. So what are your predictions here, Red Panda? What are you thinking?
Well, I haven't been on a lot this week, so I'm not sure who's got pace and not. Revo's obviously going to be incredibly quick. I've heard T-Mac is getting amazing times around here. Yeah, I reckon it's going to be pretty tight in the midfield. I'll say that.
Cool. Yeah, no, that's pretty spot on. I haven't actually really been paying attention to any of the practice races that have been happening this week. I've been all over the place, but yeah, I think because we've got, how many people do we have here? 18. All right, so we're only 2 off the full grid. That's all right. But yeah, no, we should be in for a good one. The majority of these guys, from what I remember, are pretty quick around here. So we should have a decent showing here tonight. Hopefully. Okay, so qualification is officially underway. 17 minutes 30 seconds on the clock there. We can see the first of the drivers going out. It's one of the Ferraris and
Revo, of course, first out the pit.
Of course, Revo's the first out the pit. Let's jump on board with him. Get this kicked off and underway. So Revo, of course, the current championship leader. Very strong showing. We'll see how well he does here in Canada. We've got clouds up there. Not sure what the weather forecast is for the actual race. I'm sure someone will tell me soon. So, bunch of cars straight out. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we've got about 11 cars ready to go. So Revo will be looking to try and get the cleanest air. We have 2 cars exiting the pits away as he proceeds to start his flying out through the wall of champions and up through the gears. So on board with Revo on the Renault, he starts his flying lap. And an interesting thing to point out is to pay attention to the ERS usage. So it's very interesting how he'll switch up and down as needed. So on hot lap to get as much input into the engine as fast as possible, switches down into high for the midsection of the track. A bit of a lock up there on that front left. And then you'll notice still on high, hits it up to hot lap, goes up through the gears, back down to overtake because it's more effective in the higher range. You'll probably smash it down at high. So it's really interesting. It's little things that he does that other drivers don't do, and that all of that comes into effect.
It does, because you maximize your deployment. If you're living in hot lap, you'll run out of deployment before the end of the lap, and you'll just have nothing coming across the line. So, yeah, you gain a few tenths by doing it.
Yeah, so you can see that deployment meter just under the yellow bar as it's coming down to a close, and chances are he's got this down to a science, and it'll probably run out just as he crosses the line. And it's spot on, look at that. Bang, across the line. 107.9 from Revo. He sets that first lap. Let's jump on board with Seb. He's currently doing his fastest lap. Flyboy comes across, 108.5. Shrimp done a 109.7. Bloody hell, man. Revo's first lap. It's his first lap, and it's a 107.
Yeah, he's quick. That is fast. But he can go faster.
You can. That's the scary bit. He can definitely go faster. T-Mac with a hard compound, 110.6. Bandcamp squeezes in there into third with a 109.2. As Seb is finalising his lap now. There's the Red Bull.
I think Revo can go a whole second faster. I think he got into the sixes.
I think his T-time is in the sixes, yeah. So here comes Seb through the wall of champions. That's going to be a spot to watch out for. Can catch people out very, very harshly. As Seb comes across the line with a 108.3. So that's a good first attempt there from the Red Bull. Now, of course, Canada is one of those tracks where multiple pit stops are a particular choice of strategy. I don't know if these guys will do those. But I think most people go soft, medium. Soft, medium, soft, sorry.
Yeah, soft.
I don't know if
soft to hards can work.
Mm-hmm.
But I remember last year I tried the soft to medium and my mediums were gone by the end, so I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't think the hards work very well on this track, but we'll see when we get into the race. We'll see everyone's strategies and how they work. So that is Apollo coming around that hairpin down to that back straight there. Jump on board a bit. See, so these cars tend to max out around the 330 mark as you come to the end of that straight, and you hit hard on the brakes, and you've got to try and get within those two orange zones and then keep off that Pirelli wall. That wall of champions has taken a lot of people out,
and a lot of notable names too.
Yep, hence why it is titled as it is titled, and it's also one of those places where as your tyre wear gets more and more degraded throughout the race, you get caught out because your car tends to slide a little bit with the loss of traction, and just nicking that wall, it completely ruins your race. I've seen tons of people, especially in AFR, hit that wall and spin right onto the main straight. So it's definitely one of those to watch out for, as we have a bunch more people coming across. Alright, so an update, 12 minutes on the clock. Revo still in provisional pole with a 107.9. Seb in second, 108.3. Flyboy in third, 108.5. Greeny getting up there with a 109.1. Good job by the Ferraris. They are really unlucky this season, so hopefully Greeny can put something on the board there. Bandcamp in 5th, Jacob in 6th, Shrimp 7th, T-Mac in 8th, Nut with a 110.6 in 9th, and combined with a 111.5 on the hard compound. And Potsy looks like he's balked this lap. Not a good one for him, so we'll jump up with the Ferrari of Gus. So his teammate, of course, setting his time in 4th. Let's see what the Ferrari driver can do for his team. Can he get up there in the top half? We'll find out. Crosses the line there for the flying lap. Down through the gears. Now, keep an eye on that ERS meter. We'll see if he switches it up and down, similar to Riva, or whether or not he just leaves it in hot lap. So judging by the first couple of corners, I'd say this is a leave it in 5 and go all the way.
Yeah, he's leaving it on 5.
That's all right. Now have a look at that deployment meter. Notice how quick it is draining. So hot lap doesn't drain as quick as overtake does, but it does drain very, very fast. And so you can see it's already at half deployment as he comes to that hairpin. So we'll see where it runs out. Usually it runs out just before the World Champions, I think.
Chucks in overtake.
Okay, so uses overtake on that final sector, puts it back up to hot lap for the initial burst of speed come through the wall of champions, keeps it off the wall nice and tidy, and actually the deployment's pretty spot on there.
Yeah.
That's interesting. So he kept the majority of that lap in hot lap mode, and the deployment was spot on.
I think it varies from track to track, because I remember at Bahrain, if you had it on hot lap the entire time, you'd run out at the last corner and you still had that straight to go.
Now here is something very, very interesting. Gus Rawls has come across the line. He set his fastest lap with a 109.002. I was going to say that Greeny was on his out lap, and I thought Greeny might get a tow, but no, he's gone ahead and he's allowed one of the Mercedes drivers to do the same. Mikau comes across with a 108.35, so that'll push Flyboy down one. He'll take third. Also, let's jump on board with Sphinx, showing good promise in practice. Got Lotus there in the Mercedes, 110.4. Apollo with a 110.2, jumps up a little bit. So we've only got 3 drivers, well, he just set a time, 109.6, that puts him in 10th. So only 2 drivers left now to do a lap, Sphinx and Smitty. There are a ton of cars on the track right now. This is going to get busy. So Sphinx is now coming around to do his hot lap. His teammate, Seb, currently sitting second. 108.3. Let's see what this Red Bull driver can do. Ooh, bit of a rocky start there on that first turn. Revo just set another fastest lap at 107.8. So he's knocked off 1/10. And it looks like Smitty set a time in 9th for Toro Rosso, 109.3. Great job there. There's Sphinx moving through sector 2 now. This is one of those complicated parts of the track, and he invalidates. I was just about to mention that. So that little chicane in through turn 2 does catch people out really easy, because you can't go too much on that left side. So Sphinx is going to have to reset. Looks like he's got enough fuel to do it. He's put ERS on 0. I think he's going to let some people past and go for another one. He might have to pull in. Looks like his teammate's behind him. No, he's pulling into the pit, so he'll have to reset his fuel. Probably ran on low.
Seb comes across the line, does improve only by 2/100, so.
So he jumped up there to a 108.32. So still in second. Has about 7/10 to make up if he wants to catch Revo. That's an ask. Jesus. Here's Flyboy coming through that same sector. We'll see what his time looks like as he crosses that sector 2 line. Ooh. Up on his time by 1/10. So this will be an improvement. Can he possibly overtake Mikau here? Third. It all comes down to the Wall of Champions chicane. Usually down into 4th gear. You hug that. Use all of the room. No, but he does invalidate. And almost lost the car into the wall there, but kept it clean, so that lap's not going to count. And that's another one of those areas where it does catch you off if you go too far on that left side, or on the right side for that matter. The game will ping you for it. So that is an invalidated lap for Flyboy, so he'll stay 4th. 6 minutes.
If you go too shallow into the chicane, you invalidate. You go too deep, you invalidate.
Yeah.
You have to get it spot on.
And not only that, you have to get it spot on and keep it off the wall on the exit. So it's one of those really testing corners. It's the one that Canada's famous for. And that'll be, again, very, very interesting to watch throughout the actual race. So Flyboy will have to reset. Let's jump on board with Wahid down there on...
Gus invalidated on his lap. He would have jumped up to 5th if it wasn't invalidated,
so
but...
Taking Potsy there. So, oh no! And as you can see there, that end plate of the Mercedes has just flown off. So we'll see what Wahid can do. But unfortunately, lost that.
It's at the start of his lap too.
Yeah, lost it on the wall of champions. And we can see that the tyre's bouncing off, so it is giving him some problems, and he has invalidated. So that's going to be his lap done as well. That's very unfortunate
he just
for him.
kissed that wall.
Yeah, it's very unfortunate for him. Let's jump on with Potsy. He's currently on his outlap, driving for McLaren, so himself and combined. Both repping points. So Potsy, one of these drivers who was plagued with internet issues early on in the season, but luckily has managed to get them under control, and by doing so has completely improved his pace. He's very, very strong, doing well in both the F2 series and in previous Tier 1 races.
Sphinx, purple second sector.
Oh, he's currently on a flying lap, is he? Alright, let's jump on board with him real quick.
Sphinx very strong in the F2 cars, if I remember, but...
Alright, so Sphinx, the only person not to set a lap right now, coming down. Oh, hits the wall of champions, just perfect. That's going to be good. Coming across that line, it's looking like a 109. It is, it's a 109.078. That'll put him in 7th. Not bad, splitting up the two Ferraris.
Sphinx is also a reserve driver too.
Yeah. So great job there from Sphinx to put that Red Bull on the top half of the grid. Now we switch back to Potsy, who's coming through the end of Sector 2 now. Let's see, is he up on his time? He is, by a whopping 3/10. That is a good run.
Sphinx is also our F2 championship leader, so not surprising he actually did a fast lap.
A little bit more speed here from the McLaren down that back straight. He got hard through the brakes. Does the Wall of Champions right. Uses all the green as he's supposed to. And now we're looking at a 108. It's a 108.4. That'll jump in past Flyboy. So he'll sit alongside Mikau on the second row of the grid. 108.451. Great job there. Now Wahid, Mercedes Petronas. Let's see. He's still got his end plate, so this is a good start. Hopefully he can keep it to the rest of this outlap.
Flyboy's responding to Potsy's lap.
Is he coming out of the pits now, is he? Yeah.
Yep.
Alright, so we still have 2 minutes left in this qualifying session, so anything can happen. It's probably a sure bet that Riva will keep his pole position. But anything can happen, we will see. So we just clicked under that 2-minute mark. Sphinx has retired from the session, so he'll be happy with his 109.07. That'll keep him 8th at the moment, but I'm sure times will change as the rest of these drivers make their way past the track. Now Wahid coming onto that main straight through the Wall of Champions, keeps the end plate. We start strong. Across the line, let's have a look. Oh, luckily Red Bull not getting in the way. Bits there, so Wahid still keeping to that pace. Now his current time is a 109.6. We'll see what it's like as he crosses the Sector 1 line, and it's 2.5 tenths up on. So this is looking good
Notable
for him.
thing to note, T-Mac is committed to qualifying on the mediums, 4 tenths up. Everyone else on softs.
Oh yeah, T-Mac is the only driver on the medium compound. Okay, so he's looking to do a longer first stint. Oh no, and Wahid balks the lap. All right, I'm not
The
sure
Wall
what
of
happened
Champions.
there. No, he just pulled over.
T-Mac jumps to 8th on the mediums.
Wow, what a lap. 109.03 on the medium compound. Well done, T-Mac. That is quick.
He's got to be happy with that.
But I'm not sure what's going on here with Wahid. He was on a blistering lap. He's decided to pull back. I think he's going to go on another go round. Yep, definitely. Okay, so this is going to be the one for him. We'll stay on board. Revo is now on a flying lap as well.
Revo's on a flying lap with Ban just in front of him.
Oh, okay. Let's have a look.
And Ban's not on a good lap.
Let's have a look here. So Bandcamp is sitting 6th position right now with a 108.8 Revo provisional pole, and you can see that this is not the place that you want to get caught up. Band pulls over to the side, and Revo goes through. So that is definitely going to add to his time. The toe is effective,
Cheeky little toe.
but by how much? He's currently 500ths up on his time. That is a very, very little amount of time, but in Formula One racing, that is leaps and bounds. So if he can improve, now coming down that back straight, let's keep an eye on Wahid's times, 109.6. Can he improve? He crosses the line, gets himself to 7th with a 107. Here comes Revo. It's at a 107.68. So it's only an improvement of a 10.5, but that is a big improvement, man. He was already quick.
At that lap time, a 10.5. That's crazy.
That is nuts. But, and credit where credit's due, Seb did get into the 107s.
T-Mac's pushed down to 11th, so he'll have free choice. His gamble didn't work.
Sphinx in the chat there, invalidated 2 laps and final lap I was just slow. Alright, so that was a great qualifying session. Congratulations to Revo with a 107.6. Seb not too far behind, only 3 tenths. And the Red Bull with a 107.9. Mikau in the Haas, 108.2. He'll start 3rd. Potsy with a great drive. Put in a 108.4. That'll start him alongside. Flyboy in 5th. Gus Rule 6th. Wahid in 7th. Bandcamp there in 8th. Greeny in 9th. And Shrimp with the last of the point positions in 10th. But from that point down, I mean, everyone's time is pretty close.
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting.
Okay, so it looks pretty dry. Very, very sunny.
Also got to watch turn 1 too, especially here, so tight.
Yeah. Turn those first couple of the first complex of corners definitely catch people out, and the hairpin too. People like to get a little bit ballsy, and if they can't pull their car up, then it's just. So hopefully we don't get incidents. Hopefully it's clean. I've seen enough safety cars, I think.
Yeah,
Like
enough for a few weeks.
Yeah, and like, don't get me wrong, they add excitement and things like that, but it's too much.
Look, if we get a big stagnation of time, one safety car would be good.
Looks like we have an issue here with the lobby, so looks like we're gonna have to restart, but that's okay. Shouldn't take too long. I'm sure Band's already on it. All dry. Okay.
I have a good feeling about this race. I reckon it's going to be hectic, to say the least.
It should be good. It should be good. Yeah.
If it's like T1 Canada last year, then it'll be a good race. I remember T1 Canada last year, people were just battling, switching in and out the entire race.
Canada does lend itself to some pretty good races. I mean, it's a track where there's a lot of speed, especially when you come down that final sector. You got the massive back straight, and then the Wall of Champions, then the fairly long main straight. But its real thing is the fatigue on the tyres. So because of how fast it is, the temps do build up quite quickly, and it's not that it can, it does affect your tyres. So it all comes down to management as well, and that's the really awesome bit. That's the bits. Yes, you got to focus on racing, but you've also got to focus on managing your car, managing those tyres, because if you let them get too out of control, the chicanes will catch you out, and that final one is not one you want to mess up, because you mess that up, the chances are you're done.
If you get a bit of oversteer going in, and it will overcorrect itself, you're in the wall.
Yeah, that's right, and that's probably a wheel. That wheel is probably folding in on your nose, like it's not. You know what I mean? We see some people get away with some close calls in AFR, but not there, because you have nowhere to go. If you bounce off that wall, you have nowhere to go but another wall. Like, there's no runoff. It's a wall, and then on the other side is another wall. And then not only that, but if you crash and there are people behind you,
pile up.
Yeah. So this is one of those circuits where it's fairly straightforward, but at the same time, there are some wrenches that can be thrown in the mix.
Yeah.
Makes it good.
And there's a lot of good overtaking spots here too.
Yes. This is also a track that lends itself to a lot of those moves, which is great. It's really good to see people attack as they come through Sector 2. You've got the... I'm just trying to think what the turn is. It's a fairly long left, and then you go into... It's the second DRS zone. Or... Technically, it's the first DRS zone. Past
I know.
Start, finish.
Yeah.
But... especially because people can hug right up behind other cars as they hit that DRS zone, switch out, and then with the extra speed, they've got to compensate for the braking distance into that chicane. And some people get it right, and it's beautiful, and some people get it massively wrong and end up going straight off. And losing
especially because that chicane is so fast.
Yep, and the strict rule set doesn't allow you to any wiggle room, any.
Sector 2 is really good for following because you can just put the other car under so much pressure, force them into a mistake coming into a chicane. Turn 1 and 2 complex too, and the hairpin, very good for battling.
Ooh.
Interesting. People are going to be on fresh tyres.
Yes, that's right. So with lobby restarts, there is no way to sort of get around that. So they will have fresh tyres, which will be good for everyone, for that matter. Which means that T-Mac, his slight advantage won't be so massive anymore.
Well, it wasn't even that big of an advantage because he was pushed out the top 10.
Yeah. Oh, was he?
Yeah, he was pushed out the top 10 at the end.
He can do whatever he wants.
So his gamble didn't pay off.
That's okay. He can do whatever he wants now. That's fine. I thought he was in the top 10. My mistake.
I wonder outside the top 10 who will start on the hards and who will start on the mediums.
Well, we're about to find out as the session clock has started to count down.
Soft runners are just going to be like a bullet out of a gun at the start.
Yeah, definitely going to have that. Definitely going to have that speed advantage coming out the gate, but of course, everyone else is everyone in that top 10 is in the same boat. So it just comes down to who. That's basically turn 1. Yeah, really does come down to turn 1.
Just gotta keep your wing on your car and you'll be fine.
Alright, so just waiting on a couple of drivers. There we go, jumped in. Now I've got to reset up the whole thing. Ugh. So 18 drivers on the grid. Oh boy.
Yeah, is pole on the inside of the track or the outside? Here at Canada.
Good question. I'm not pretty sure it's on the right side because that sets you up better for the first turn.
If it is on the right side and Seb gets a good start, he's gonna be right on Revo's inside for the first turn.
Mm-hmm. And they've got to make sure to keep off each other because that's front wing graveyard right there. Especially if you get caught on those wheels. No, it's on the left side.
Ah.
There we go, they start on the left side. Let's get this all set up.
That would make more sense actually, with how you drive that corner.
Yeah. So formation lap. Last chance for these drivers to get heat in their tyres and brakes. Making sure everything's up to spec. And we're around here for 35 laps. In Canada short circuit.
Okay, so of course everyone in the top 10 is on the softs.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone outside top 10 mediums, no hards, but Jacob and Combine have decided to start on the softs.
So it looks like they're betting on getting ahead, but
Hopefully an early safety car. If I was them, that's what I'd be hoping for.
yeah, we'll have to monitor the pit stops. We'll see what's stronger. I mean, I'm expecting some undercuts, especially here. So.
Revo's starting to back up the pack at the front.
Yeah, he knows that he gets the control. But then again, the AI takes over about here. It's one of those tracks where it takes over very, very early. So everyone's going to follow that soon. So Lotus a bit behind, but we'll catch up. So the rest of them come through now. Line back up on the grid, then we'll be able to start this Tier 1 race off. Do you reckon we're going to have a hectic turn 1?
I wouldn't put money on it, but I reckon we will. It is T1 after all. Tier 1.
Alright. Let's find it. So everyone is lined up. The engines are revving. So we're close to start. We've just got to wait on those 5 red lights. And as soon as they go off, we are off. So there it is. A great start there by Revo and Seb. It looks like the majority of guys have got a good one. Everyone seems to be
Seb
out
on
of
the outside of
everyone's way.
Revo.
So Revo goes in first, and it looks like he gets a decent lead. Ooh. Looks like Potts is getting a little bit of lag.
Bit of contact between Wahid and Guz rules.
Let's jump down a couple of positions on this grid. So
They ran on the Alpha side by side. Still side by side. He was abandoned shrimp.
So there is action everywhere here on the first lap. On board with Gus Rules right now, who's behind the Mercedes. Flyboy trying to get past. Let's jump down a couple more with Shrimp in
Smitty
the
and
Alpha.
T-Mac. T-Mac gets him. Ooh, cuts the corner, but he's gonna have a warning from that.
Oh, and have a look at this. Sphinx goes on the inside of the Alpha, but he gets caught out by the brakes, and that holds Greeny up as well.
He had
So
to take evasive action there.
Yeah,
Alpha
Shrimp
broke
gets-
really early.
Shrimp gets the advantage there. Sphinx got caught out bad. And that's going to allow Greeny to make an overtake. And have a look at this. Wahid's doing the same to Gus Rules.
Sphinx
Almost.
backed out of that. Safe choice.
Flyboy as well. So Gus gets a little bit of breathing room now. But Flyboy is all over the back of Wahid.
box.
Massively good start to this race.
Now, if Seb can stay within a second to Revo until lap 3, he'll be alright.
We already have a Sector 1 yellow flag, and it's Smitty. Looks like he spun off the track. You can see it on the track map there. Down to 18th now. So
He's got wing damage.
He does have wing damage.
Yep, he's got the entire... He's got M plate and a few levels of wing missing, so he's got practically orange wing.
So he'll have to fix that. That's unfortunate. So on board with Combined YouTuber, who's looking to make a move on the inside of T-Mac. Goes really, really close on that inside there, side by side now, down the back straight. Oh, T-Mac hits the curve. Massive
Good
traction
job
loss.
saving that.
God, T-Mac keeping it out of the wall. That is a great drive, but unfortunate. That's going to allow the McLaren to get past. And Lotus is definitely going to catch up due to that. Oh, I'm
White boys on Wahid.
Bandcamp's up in this as well. So we are on the 3rd lap. That means DRS is enabled. You can see Bandcamp side by side here.
Almost round the outside of 2, just couldn't grip up, but he's going to go to the inside.
No, he doesn't have the speed. He's also got to be careful because Shrimp's right there. Flyboy makes contact with the wall. That's going to allow Renault to go right up on the outside. Bandcamp will take that position, and the Alpha does as well. Shrimp decides to take it as well. Flyboy just got forced out, and now Greeny's in on this. Greeny's now trying to make it up. Flyboy just lost 2 positions due to that collision. On the side, oh, Greeny's drifting. That's going to allow Jacob to get up. Here comes the Williams down onto that hairpin.
Combined on the inside of Sphinx. T-Mac's going to probably get Sphinx too.
Sphinx goes to the right side. T-Mac. Oh, T-Mac makes the overtake.
Sphinx is just...
T-Mac might even look for a second. No, he decides to back off. That's the safer option. Through the
Either
wall,
Sphinx is not pushing or he's running really high downforward.
Yeah, I'm not sure what his setup is.
Because on the straights, it seems like he's just nowhere.
Back up to the top of the grid. Revo
Mikhail got Seb.
Yes, that's right. So Revo is currently 1.7 seconds ahead of Mikhail, who's made an overtake on Seb. Seb still keeping that 1 second gap. But so is Potsy. They're both 0.4 behind each other. So Mikhail as he goes
Seb's pushing too.
Sector 2 now. So let's see what he can do as they come down onto that hairpin. So DRS will be the important part here. Mikhail will not have it as they move through the detection zone. Revo's too far away, but both Seb and Potsy will. So Seb has a good chance to catch Mikhail by the end. You can see Mikhail trying to go up on the outside, break that tow line, but the Red Bull's not going anywhere. However, it's too far away for him to get the advantage. So now he's going to come into the second DRS. There it goes. He looks up on the outside.
Seb goes to the outside.
Stays in the middle of the track, trying to make that defensive line. It might work, but Seb squeezes past. And have a look. Potsy's trying to look as well. So they're still side by side.
Mikhail comes back around the outside.
He keeps it, but there's a little bit of contact with that rear tyre on the wall. So Seb's all over the back of him. He looks to go on the inside again. Probably won't be able to get it. And all the while...
Mikhail's just punishing those tyres. They're at such a high temperature through those corners.
Yeah, they're still side by side on board with Potsy now, who's getting a great view of the entire thing. And Seb makes the move, so Mikhail drops into third. Oh, Jesus, Potsy almost...
Mikhail's coming back into the hairpin.
Don't think he'll make that move.
Oh, but will he do the switchback? No, Seb covers.
Don't think that's the moves you want to make. Not right now. You could tell those tyres, from all that battling, the tyre wear's definitely gone up. So Mikhail's going to have to keep that in mind. It's only lap 5. Still got 30 laps to go. Mikhail decides to go on the outside. He goes on the inside of that chicane. Makes it work. Keeps off the wall. No, he's in the wall.
Seb punts him. There was contact. Seb hit him in the rear.
Now, I can't quite see what the damage is like. I think he's missed an end plate and there's a bit of wing missing.
No, he's missing half a wing.
Yep. So that's gonna definitely come into play as now everybody is going to start overtaking him. Wahid will be the first. Oh, it's
Mikhail's gonna
side
be
by
free.
side. Have a look. Bandcamp's in there as well. But Bandcamp hits Shrimp. T-Mac with a 3-second time penalty. Oh, Jesus. There is heaps of stuff happening right now.
Mikhail just brake checked Band, I think. Band's got damaged front wing too.
Shrimp
Look
now
at Shrimp.
bumps into him. Look at this. Greeny goes up on the outside of Flyboy. He'll take Mikau as well, as Mikau suffers from low downforce. And they're going almost 4 into that the chicane.
Almost 7 cars all battling.
Look at this train. Even Jacob's up on here now. Combined as
Wide
well.
down the inside.
It's almost 7 cars.
T-Mac waiting in the wings. Combine's coming on Jacob. Mikau, he's going to probably dive in the pits.
Everyone with DRS here, so Mikau's probably going to have to pit. Yeah, definitely. That wing damage is way too high as they all come through there. Jesus, what a procession. All started by Mikau trying to make that corner. Couldn't quite do so. I think Seb did contact him in the back.
Yeah,
Which
Seb had
put
contact. He just rear-ended Mikau, put him in the wall.
So Mikau's really lucky that he only got wing damage.
Ooh, Apollo Drift, Pepsi with that drift. One eye open on Seb too, so 8/10 on Potsy.
So staying with the middle of this pack. Greeny is catching up to Bandcamp in the Renault. He gets a bad exit out of that, and the DRS is going to allow him to get straight past into the chicane. But now he's got to make sure he hits the brake marker, which he does. Not bad. And that's going to allow Flyboy now, who's all over Bandcamp. Bandcamp just had to try and defend, missed the Ferrari. Now he's got to
Only
worry
one
about the
dive.
racing point. As they come into that DRS zone, so Band will have DRS in the detection zone.
Band's also got a missing end plate.
Oh, but Flyboy's just that faster, but Sam picks up a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane.
Or Seb, he would have tried for the undercut, but it didn't work now.
So we have 6 drivers in the pits. Lotus picks up a time penalty. Combine tries to get a move on Flyboy. Doesn't quite work. As T-Mac and Sphinx move up. Oh, man. What is happening?
T-Mac, the lead medium runner, he's doing well.
Well, I've got a bit of lull here. Let's jump on with the replay. We should be able to see what happened to Mikau. So you can see Mikau takes up on that inside, hits the brakes, goes through the chicane, gets a little bit of a bump here, and then bang, right into that wall. He's so lucky not to have that wheel snap off.
T-Mac just got combined.
So T-Mac makes the move there, moves up into 5th.
Sphinx close to the back of combined too.
So Sphinx will look to make a move. All of them will have DRS down on the back straight. Don't think Sphinx will be able to catch. Doesn't seem to have that straight line speed like that McLaren.
Revo's going another lap. Potsy's in the pits.
So Lotus on the medium tyre.
Sphinx on the
currently
back of Potsy. He's going on the outside in turn 1. Oh. But combine coming back, but no, he just doesn't have the grip on those older softs. He just can't grip it around the outside.
So Sphinx up in the 3rd. Revo's still on the lead. He decided not to pit. He stayed out. Also free of damage. Benefits of being at the front. You can see a ton of movements happening back there. Let's jump on board with Nut, who's behind both Lotus and Potsy. Potsy making a move there. As we see Nut, he's almost side by side. Nut makes the move on Lotus, and Gus Rules uses the toe, but there's almost 3 wide coming into there. Lotus decides to back off.
Oh, Nut went wide. Gus Rules is alongside.
So the Ferrari will take the advantage, and the Ferrari gets DRS as well through the detection zone. So Nut has no choice. He has to let him by. Combined YouTuber speeding in the pit lane. Oh.
Revo going another lap on the softs.
So right now he's trying to maximise that lead. He's got 17 seconds ahead of T-Mac. He's trying to push that as far as he can before he hits that pit lane. I mean, even as it stands, he's going to be in front.
Those softs are still doing him justice. He's not that far down on his delta.
Yeah, he's probably going to try and push out. I would say maybe this lap or the next. After that, it'll be a bit too much. Tons of penalties getting swapped out here. Jesus, Jacob.
Massive lockup, Revo. He's definitely got to pull in. His rears are at 60%.
So Potty makes a move on Apollo as they come up onto the chicane. Holds it well, but Apollo gets a massive cut there. He's going to get a warning for sure. Putting 2 tyres into the grass. That's going to allow Gus Rules to catch up. Currently 1 second behind. Let's see if he can get through that detection zone. I don't think so.
Oh, the 2 silver arrows are battling.
The teammates! Wahid gets past and has DRS. The Smitty picks up a 3-second time penalty. So great job there. Wahid decides to go forward. Oh no, Lotus going a bit too deep on that first part of the chicane. He'll pick up a penalty.
Revo timed that perfectly.
Yeah, and that's exactly what I thought he'd do. He'd try and get as much time as possible, and he's done that. It's an 18-second pit stop, I believe, from start, during, and finish, and he's come out 1.4 seconds ahead of T-Mac on fresh medium tyres. He is dominating this race right now. Wahid, Nut, and Lotus. Tons of position changes. Flyboy and Greeny do the same.
Two Red Bulls doing very well too. Now the question will be, will Sphinx let his teammate by?
You'd have to imagine. If he's the reserve driver, he'd have to... Oh, they're going very, very deep.
Yeah.
Nah, that's nice and safe. That's nice and safe. Great job there from the 2 Red Bulls, and they both get DRS.
He gave Seb the DRS and just...
Yeah. That's good. That's well done.
Yeah, Seb's already 6/10 behind T-Mac, so that worked.
Let's jump all the way back down to 13th place, where Mikau is trying his best to climb back up. He's trying to make the overtake on Lotus coming into turn 2. Oh, and he gets it well done. Lotus gets caught off guard. So Mikau gets through, currently 11th. He's got a long way to go to get back up to the top part of the grid.
Seb's right on the back of T-Mac, coming into the chicane, sector 2, down the inside.
Great overtake there. What a great camera angle too. You can see T-Mac just behind. Now T-Mac might look to make an attack as they come down to the hairpin. No, probably not.
No, he's biding his time for the DRS.
That's right. But will the tyres keep up? And here's a better question. Will Sphinx be able to overtake? Probably not. Sphinx just doesn't have that straight line speed.
Yeah, he's just nowhere on the straight.
Back to Flyboy, who makes an overtake on the left side of Nut. He's holding his position.
Revo just posting quali times for his race pace. Interesting strategy from Shrimp too. Double stint on the softs. I wonder what his play is going to be there.
Sure, we'll have to keep an eye. It's Flyboy trying to catch up to the Alfa Romeo of Shrimp, who's currently on the soft compound. So he's on the faster compound, but those tyres are getting worn. It's nuts
and
with
hot.
13. Yeah, we're 13 laps in, and all of the gaps are really close. Flyboy using that DRS, catching up quite nicely. Now up to that hairpin. So Flyboy will have a great move onto that back straight. Mikau makes the overtake on Nut, so he's now in points position. And here comes Flyboy. There's the DRS. Which way's he going to go? Looks like Shrimp's going to make him go right. To the inside of the chicane.
Shrimp doesn't yield, he knocks Flyboy in the rear.
And that's an end plate. That is definitely an end plate. Which side was it on?
That is an end plate.
Left side. Well, that's going to cost that Alpha. Don't know how much of a handling hit he's going to take for that, but so up with Sphinx now in 5th. Currently 0.7 behind Potsy. Potsy trying to chase down T-Mac.
I wonder what T-Mac's play is going to be here, because one of his rears is on 50%. He's going to have to go to the hards. He can't do a double medium unless he plans to change on the softs at the end.
See. Now to Potsy with DRS. He's trying to catch him down, but it looks like T-Mac just has a little bit more leg. And T-Mac goes into the pits. So he makes his move lap 15.
Sphinx 2, what tire choice will he do?
Yep. So jump on with Mikau. So Shrimp comes in. So Mikau will go up to 9th. Actually, he'll go up a couple more.
It's the white stripe hard tires on Mikau. I mean, T-Mac, sorry.
T-Mac and Sphinx, yeah. T-Mac and Sphinx both do the hard tire, so they're looking to go to the end.
Well, T-Mac's already bettered his starting position, so...
On board with Jacob Meister.
Yeah, the battle for 11th.
He's trying to catch up to Bandcamp. Both on the same type of tyre wear. Jacob keeping it under that 1 second gap, which means he'll have DRS throughout the rest of the circuit. Bandcamp is keeping a decent distance here. He's just extended it to 0.8, so Jacob Meister not getting a great exit through the chicane.
Band's just managing his tyres so well. Compared to Jacob, he's got less worn.
Even with DRS, Bandcamp is away. Jacob's going to have to really step it up. He wants to catch that Renault and put himself one step closer to points.
And that Renault is catching the Red Bull of Sphinx.
So from lap 16, looks like all the gaps have started to expand. And then a couple of cars underneath that 1 second. Jacob Meister and Nut at the back. Jump on board with the Toro Rosso.
No DNFs either.
Which is good. Mikau was really lucky not to have a race ender. So Nut trying to get past the Ferrari here of Greeny. So Greeny is on the slower compound. So Nut is on the fresher mediums, so he should be able to get past, but the question is when. Because the longer you spend behind that dirty air, that's got to put more pressure on those tyres, and he wants to get ahead as quick as possible. There goes the DRS symbol, but it's still not enough to catch him. By the chicane, or massive brake check! Oh! And that's made Nut go off the course.
I think Nut just broke way too late, actually.
Wow, had to do intense evasive maneuvers to get away from that.
He's going to have DRS up to the chicane.
Can he catch him? No. Still slow, okay. Ooh. So Combine and Apollo Pepsi just picked up warnings there. Let's jump up a couple again. Back on with Jacob Meister. 0.5 behind Bandcamp. Now it's here through this sector 2 where he loses the most time. He'll hit that DRS. But watch his exit here through the chicane. It's not as clean as Band's. Well, that time not too bad. Still maintains that 0.5. But Bandcamp must be running either lighter or lower downforce because he can just absolutely get away. Oh, but he's got to look for the inside.
A bit wide.
Yeah, Band goes wide. Jacob's looking, and now it's only 0.3. This is good. This is where the DRS kicks in. He goes left. Oh, they're going to be pretty close coming in. No, Band does the right thing and lets him pass, incident-free. So Band's now going to be on the attack. Something
It's a
tells
difference
me.
of what they use too, because on a wheel you can just be band wheel, Jacob pad. On a wheel you can just be so much more smooth.
Yeah, something tells me Band's not going to wait that long to take this position back. Let's just have a look. We'll jump on board with him. Let's have a look. This manoeuvre here through. So down into third. Coasts it. Puts the pressure on. Yep. Pedal down. DRS. Now, funnily enough, he is further back than Jacob was this time round. His exit's not too bad. Jacob goes a little bit tighter. So as it stands, Bandcamp's in a pretty good position on this back straight. And he goes wider again. Okay, so Jacob cuts inside. Bandcamp takes the wider option. That's going to put him 0.6 behind. DRS won't be able to give him that.
Nuts on Greeny. Ooh, just...
So here's Nut in the Toro.
He's going on DRS.
Have a look. Even with DRS, Greeny's still ahead. What is going on with that? Wow,
Do you reckon
okay.
Nut might be saving?
Possibly, but Greeny's going to the end on that. I don't know.
I mean, doesn't seem to be pushing.
So lap 20 of 35, 15 laps to go. This Bandcamp has caught up a little bit closer, but with that fighting, so has Wahid. And that Mercedes is eyeing down that Renault. It's getting closer and closer per lap. Someone's lost an end plate there. I think it might be Jacob Meister. Someone came in contact with the wall. It's not him.
It was Wahid, he just tapped it, but he doesn't have damage.
Wahid tapped that?
Tapped the front,
No,
but
he's
he
got both
doesn't
his
have
end
damage.
plates.
Yeah, but he doesn't have damage. No, it was Sphinx.
Ah, okay. That's okay. That makes more sense.
Wahid still tapped the wall, but Sphinx got his end plate knocked.
And now through all of this, Bandcamp is still 0.7. So Jacob is within DRS contention. So is Bandcamp. But Wahid is right up the back of that car. And all of this is technically fighting for 9th and 10th place.
It's a 4-car train.
So how is the DRS going to affect these guys as they come around that hairpin? So Sphinx is going to be looking in that rearview mirror, possibly sweating. And it looks like Wahid's definitely going to take this. Here comes the DRS. And that Mercedes is so much faster. He goes up on the inside. Oh, they're down to braking. Oh, Band's going in the pits.
That's the optimum strategy. Stop medium, medium.
Band is in the pits. So is Mick out. Jump up to Jacob, who's now got the task of getting past the Red Bull of Sphinx. Wahid managed to get past Bandcamp due to a pit stop. So let's see if Wahid can do the same with Jacob here. As Apollo Pepsi picks a 3-second time penalty.
Now, if the cards are played right, T-Mac could potentially be on for a high points finish.
Yeah, well, yeah. So he's banking on those hards getting him to the end. Now, tyre performance-wise, I don't know what that's going to be like. But if he can hold his own, yes, he'll be in decent points contention. Now, here's interesting. We're on the back straight. The DRS is going to fly. Wahid is going to make this move on Jacob Meister. 2 positions are going to switch. There they go. Oh, Wahid's looking to go on the outside. Oh, Jacob Meister goes into the pits. Okay, so Wahid will take the position anyway. Oh, Jacob gets hit with a 5-second penalty for speeding. Again.
Oh, no.
So Canada, admittedly, does catch off guard because the pit lane line is like right there at the end of the straight.
Yeah.
There's no like curve to slow you down. It's like right there. So you do get caught out with it pretty bad. But anyway, Wahid moves up into 7th. Let's jump up a couple of positions as T-Mac is chasing down Seb. Seb makes the move on combined as they go into the chicane.
Now, T-Mac is a net 3rd.
So T-Mac's done his research here. Currently 7 laps down on those hard tyres. Hits the DRS. Combined doesn't have it due to the detection zone. And Combined goes into the pit. So T-Mac moves up to 4th.
No, up to 3rd.
Up to 3rd. So 2 people came into the pits then?
Yeah, Gus rules.
Oh, sorry. Didn't see that one. Okay, fair enough. So T-Mac is currently 3rd. Can he hold it?
The medium runners are going to be lightning behind him, but he's not bad at defending, so if he can fight this to the end, he's got a podium.
So Seb right now is 34 seconds behind, of Revo.
Revo yet to pit.
Revo still has to pit, but it's only about 18 seconds worth. So there was ideas in the chat here that Seb might undercut him. I don't think that's going to work as Potsy looks to make a move on T-Mac. He looks up on the inside. He is on the fresher mediums. It's definitely going to give him an advantage. Smitty's car goes ghost. T-Mac's going to have to move out of the way. There goes Potsy. And McLaren gets by. Jump a bit more as Flyboy. Ooh, Seb sets the fastest lap, so he is gunning for it. Wahid and the Mercedes getting hunted down by the prancing horse. Oh, Jacob Meister with yet another 3-second time penalty. Wahid's got to really watch out because Gus Rules is so close now. You can taste that overtake.
Jacob's got 11 seconds of penalties.
Yeah. That's so rough.
Oh, that's very rough, that.
Oh, Gus Rules. He goes to make the overtake. Will he do it before the hairpin? He holds it on the inside. Wahid's given no room. He has to take the outside line. And that means Gus Rules will get through the DRS and will have it activated thanks to the zone. What a double whammy. Ferrari just decides to get on out of here. And now Flyboy is looking to do the same. Oh, so close to Wahid. But he knows he's got to bide his time because these aren't corners you want to mess up. A little bit of a bump there. Telling Wahid to Vamus. Get out the way. And Mikau, through all of that, climbs up as well. Only 0.4 behind Flyboy.
Honestly, I envy Revo's ability to drive on such worn tyres, but still pull great lap times.
Yeah, it's pretty darn good, but he does put in the practice to make that work. As Flyboy is looking at Wahid there. Now they're going to drag race down this inside line. Flyboy does have the DRS, but the real one to watch out for is Mikau, who's making leaps and strides into that DRS zone again. So Wahid now has it swapped as Seb gets a disconnect. Not a great place to have one. Hopefully he'll be able to rejoin quickly.
4 seconds.
So Flyboy made the overtake. He's currently 6th. Wahid is now 7th, and Mikau is trying his best to get past him. Revo gets a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane.
Not that it'll matter much.
No, Seb also has one. But so
Revo's-
Revo decides to pit, and he goes on the softs.
If he pulls the fastest lap, which I am not doubting he will, he's on for a Grand Slam.
So Mick out with the DRS, but Wahid has it as well.
Seb
in both
pits?
cars.
Is Seb still disconnected?
Seb just rejoined. And
His
it swapped
AI.
him onto the hard tyre.
His AI pit
Oh,
him.
you have got to be joking.
You are kidding.
You have got to be joking.
On for a podium. Second place. He's down in 9th.
That's rough. Speaking of rough, here comes T-Mac. Flyboy's trying to make the overtake on him. Wahid's awfully close, and so is Mick out. So this is starting to be another one of those trains. T-Mac goes up on the outside. Wahid's trying to come up here too. They are so bunched up. T-Mac gets forced off the track. He can't make the chicane. He's lost 3 places.
No.
Oh, 3 places.
With that one mistake, his masterstroke of strategy is just out of the window. He's still in the points, but
Oh, Revo got another 3-second time penalty.
yeah, he's pushing for a fastest lap.
Yeah. Get a sector 2 yellow flag. Let's jump back here with Combines, who's making the overtake on Jacob Meister through the wall of champions.
Sphinx let Seb by, not a surprise.
Mikel picks up a 3-second time penalty. So he's trying to chase down Wahid. They're all within the same time. Wahid's only 0.2. Mikel the same. Flyboy's really got to watch out. All on relatively same
Mikel's
time.
so close.
Wahid the worst of the 3. So Mikel's probably going to make the overtake here, but Wahid has DRS as well. And that Mercedes is fast on that back line. Can Mikel catch him? Oh, see, the speed is almost the same.
Oh, the Mercedes is so slippery.
So fast. Down through the gears now. As long as Flyboy stays in that gap to Wahid, Mikel's going to have a very hard time making this overtake.
Also, Mikel's on 90 ERS, Wahid's on 15.
So maybe that's the play. Wahid will have to put his car into recharge soon, and then Mikel will be able to pounce on him with a full tank. Lap 29 to 35. So we're coming to the end of this race after Mikel's unfortunate incident.
We're
He's
about
made
to
his
see
way
another,
up to 6th.
about to see a Revo quali lap.
Oh, that's no! Mikel went for the inside overtake, but contacted Wahid's tyre, and he spun out, and now Seb's coming through.
No damage.
Seb looks to go up on the inside, and he does. Oh.
Mikel with... Oh, he tried to make the switchback work.
Right, but the detection zone's not in his favour, and Seb's just going to rocket past. He's going to keep that position. Is he? Geez, that Haas is pretty fast without DRS, I'll tell you what.
Yeah, and he was down on 0 ERS too.
So that hard compound really slowing the car down. So Revo takes the fastest lap. So right now he is on 4, that extra point. Oh, Mikel was so close. Oh, that's so unfortunate. nut with a 3-second time penalty in the back. Revo sets yet another fastest lap, 109.9. All of you in the mixed chat that are spamming Sparks, you're all legends.
Did I see Revo pull a 9?
109.9, yep. So back up to the Haas of Mikkel, lap 31 at 35. And he's trying desperately to get past Seb to increase the point chances. But Seb is having none of it. He's doing a great job to hold him back. Seb, unfortunate to be victim to his own AI, swapping him onto those hard tyres when there was only like 10 laps left. That's really, really lame. But he's doing the best he can with what he's been given.
Revo got dealt that card at Monaco too.
Yes, definitely. That did not help. So Mikko is staying fairly close to Seb here. And he's on the... Look at this. He's committed. Lap 32 or 35, he is committed. He's going to come out of this hairpin. You can see the hot laps on. He's probably going to switch it down to 4. There it is, the overtake. This is the move. Seb's not going to be able to defend against it. Mikko's going to take that right side. Up on the inside of the chicane. As long as he makes the brake marker. Well done. And Mikko will move up into 7th.
Also, Guz Rules is hunting for that second place.
Was just under that 1 second mark, but it looks like it slipped away from him just a little bit. I'm going to jump down to Combined, who's trying to catch Sphinx here. The two Red Bulls actually behind one another. Combined's looking to split them up. Great job of keeping the back of this car. Now he is on the medium tyre while Sphinx is on the hard. Lotus picks up another time penalty at the back there. Can the McLaren make it past into 9th? Through the hairpin now. It's in a prime spot, only 0.3 behind. Once that DRS kicks in, and that's definitely going to happen. And it's early too. That McLaren is flying past. He'll have no problems. As we see Lotus in the pits. So Combined now 9th. So both Red Bulls looking to score points. This is good. Same cannot be said for Renault. Revo in the lead. Bandcamp currently in 12th position, with 2 laps left in this race. Gus Rules is currently 2.2 seconds behind Potty. He was under a second and he's lost 1.5.
He just completely cooked his fronts.
Yeah. It's unfortunate for him. But as it stands, this is good results for Ferrari. They've had... Whoa! Shrimp makes a massive overtake! But he can't hit the brakes hard enough. And Apollo just goes straight on by. It's a good attempt from the Alpha. And he's looking to do it again! On the outside! Into the chicane! They're going to contact!
Oh, there's contact.
Oh, but he makes a pass! Oh, Apollo's out! Apollo is out of the race! Oh, he's DNF'd! No way!
What's going to happen?
Oh, man. Apollo's not going to be happy. That's for sure. Let's have a quick look. So here they are coming into that chicane. You can see Apollo sort of didn't move away. Shrimp decided not to move either. And then as Apollo gets free, he just slides straight into that wall.
Our leader starts the final lap of the race.
So, I'm going to jump on board with Revo. So he makes his way around this circuit for the last time tonight. A great race by him, perfect strategy. Setting the fastest lap,
Seb's on Mikau.
leading each lap as well. Now this will be interesting. Will the Red Bull catch the Haas on the last lap?
The Red Bull's got to be real desperate now.
Let's keep on board.
Seb has
Revo.
to just lick it and send it.
So Revo's coming down that back straight now. You can see it on the track map. He will win this race. So he gets the Grand Chelem, qualified on pole, led every lap of the race, and gets fastest lap. So
And he wins
congratulations to
the
him.
Canadian Grand Prix.
Well done to Revo. So now, as Gus Rules gets a time penalty at the back there. And it doesn't look like Seb can make up this time. But here's something very interesting. Mikau is closing the gap on T-Mac. And it's happening very fast. And now
Mikau's up to hot lap.
Mikau has all the ERS he needs. He's going to activate DRS. T-Mac's going to have it as well, but it's not going to be as fast. And Mikau looks to make a move. On the last lap, he goes right up on the inside. Will he make it through the chicane? He does. And Mikau makes his way up into 6th. Great job. But T-Mac's looking. He's still close. But it's too late. They go past. And T-Mac with so many penalties, he gets pushed all the way to 8th. And look at that. Gus Rules with penalties. Flyboy jumps up into 3rd. Oh. Jeez, the first half of that race.
Woo, was hectic.
Absolutely hectic. That was great.
Who would you name your driver of the day?
You'd have to say Revo, wouldn't you? Because, you know.
Got the
But
Grand Slam.
if it wasn't him, I'd say I'd have to say either Mikau or because Mikau he got punted
Yeah.
and he came back. So well done.
I would give it to Gus Rules.
Yeah, he did well too, especially because Ferrari's had a really bad run as of late, and he's put him up there. I think he's 4th now, right? Yeah, so that's great points for Gus there. And Ferrari.
Combined starting 17th on the grid, coming into 9th. Good finish from in.
That's a great start there. Same here with T-Mac starting 11th in 8th. So he managed to keep his way up. That's good points there as well. All right, well, that has been Canada, guys. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. As usual, I'm Kuno. This is Red Panda. And don't go anywhere. Tier 2 is about to start. But from us, we'll see you next week. Bye for now.
Cheers, guys.
This is the emergency broadcast system. The CDC is advising that you stay in your home.
We show up. We show up in the party, flyer than everybody. We show up in the party, flyer than everybody.
We show up in the party, flyer than everybody. We show up in the party, flyer than everybody. We show up in the party, flyer than everybody. We show up in the party.
We show up in the party. We show up in the party. We show up in the
party.